Hey, AP4. I just wanted to show you some sample paragraphs from the Scarlet Letter essays so you could get an idea of what yours could look like. So again, these aren't perfect, but they are very good. I believe at least two of these got in the 90s. So I just wanted to show you a couple of things. Um, if you'll notice here with this first one, Hester does commit adultery, but through this, she comes to the realization that most Puritans have also sinned as hypocrites. So notice this is exactly what we were talking about in a topic sentence. It's talking about the committing adultery. That's what this paragraph is going to be about. And that is linked to the claim of the fact that Puritans are hypocrites. So notice that's what your topic sentence should do. This is what it can look like. The paragraph continues. When Hester is in prison with her child Pearl, the narrator says, if the truth were everywhere to be shown, a scarlet letter would blaze forth on many a bosom beside Hester Prynne. So notice again, we've got our introducing the quote, narrator says, we've got our quote surrounded by quotation marks, and then we've got our page number, period is here, all right? Then we get to our explanation. The example explains, so that's introducing, here I'm going to explain this. The example explains that most Puritans did not confess their sins because if they did, there would be many others like Hester. She was seen as an outcast for her wrongdoings. So this here is a nice little use of a semicolon. Remember, semicolons have to have be two complete sentences on either side, and they have to be intimately connected. Okay, so this is talking about how they'd have that people would be treated like Hester, and this is reminding us that Hester is treated like an outcast. Okay, so take a second if you'd like to and continue reading through the paragraph. You can see what a nice job this does. And then also notice at the end of this paragraph, Hawthorne portrays that many Puritans sinned through Hester's experience. And notice this is a nice little summary sentence kind of tying the paragraph together. So that's really great. Um, we then go into this second sample. Okay, again, a nice topic sentence. Hester, again, not perfect, but Hester has a strong relationship with her daughter Pearl despite the circumstances that brought Pearl into existence. So this is mentioning Hester's strength through the strong relationship, and this paragraph is going to be about Pearl. Okay, just kind of scrolling down a little bit, Hawthorne says, so introducing the quote, heart smitten at this bewildering and baffling spell that so often come between herself and her soul treasure, whom she had bought so dear and who was all her world. Okay, line 85. So notice that quote introduced, quoted, page number, periods in the right place. There's no one Hester loves more than her daughter, and she isn't ashamed to show it. So this is a little bit more subtle explanation, which is an option, but notice that it is still doing the same thing as that this example says. It is explaining what's in this quote. Okay. Also, something nice to note here for those of you looking to upgrade your sentence fluency and your style. This is a great use of the dashes that we talked about, hyphens that we talked about a few weeks ago. Hester also, like many mothers, would do anything to keep her daughter with her. So notice that you could have set this off with commas stylistically. This is pretty interesting to do that dash there. Um, if you continue down again, pause this and read the rest of the paragraph. This writer too has Hester is consistent throughout the whole book with her adamant public love for her daughter. So this is again wrapping up the paragraph. Okay. Last one I'm going to show you does a great job of using shorter quotes. So both of these samples, you'll notice much longer quotes. Okay. This one, pretty long quotes. But in this one, the writer does a really great job of shortening the quote to just the most important word. And she does this twice. Notice this sentence. While children were, according to Hawthorne, taught by their parents to view her as an unholy paradigm, wanted her work on their newborns. So notice just this word comes from 66. The author of this paper did not need the whole quote. She thought this was the most important word, and I think that's an important word, that this was taught by the parents. So that shows the power, and notice how that quote is put into her sentence. So now the writer is in control. The writer has the power. So that's a pretty cool thing to see. Also notice here stylistically, instead of starting the sentence with according to Hawthorne, they've mixed it up a little bit. While the children were according to Hawthorne. So this shows an elevated style And that's readers are going to be impressed by mixing up how you start your sentences. And again, you don't want to do that on every sentence, but having that mixed in there definitely shows some impressive style. Again, this author does it again. Hawthorne even explains that her work was so emblematic. That's the most important word there. She didn't need the rest of it. And then continues on talking about where that word or kind of giving context to that word emblematic. Okay, so just wanted to show you a couple of examples of some really nice work. And again, these are students that submitted same revisions as everybody else did. If you have questions, let me know.